My main submission when it comes to the problems that the youth are facing in Africa, I would say number one, the biggest challenge that has led to what we see, for example, when we say crime, drug abuse, sexual immorality, increase in HIV, all these to me, I can diagnose them as a symptom. I must say there's this issue called the generational gap, where there's a big problem between the old and younger generation. So as a result, the youth feel depressed and they feel unheard and they feel voiceless, which causes them now to become desperate. It makes them to lose hope. So it makes them now to look for any other way as a source of comfort. So they, because of being misunderstood or being unheard, or they feel they are dictated upon without their will being consulted, is part of the reasons that I believe we see an increase in all the vices. To me, I believe the generational gap and lack of good communication mechanisms and platforms for full expression on both sides, both the old generation and the young generation, is causing a big rift, and the gap keeps growing wider if nothing is done to combat or counter this thing in time. My main advice to sort out this problem is that we need now dialogue. We need intentional programs that enhance and enforce dialogue, relationship, where the young people feel welcome and invited into realms of leadership, into realms of decision making, so that they feel included. Feeling of inclusivity is very important. Not only just the feeling, but the intentional nurturing and mentoring and training them to understand and to fit in the shoes of the elders. And also the elders to incorporate some of the wisdoms that are in the young people that they may be lacking, because each generation also has something to offer. So it needs to incorporate, to hear out, incorporate those things that seem applicable, that are wise enough to drive the countries and the continent forward, to be included. And even the restructuring of the education system, looking at things where it's more practicability, applicability, where people are not trained to be just consumers or job seekers, but more of producers and job creators. So that will make the youth not become desperate and become frustrated because they are not getting employment, because they are creating it in the first place. My message to a young person is that number one, discipline is important. When you look in the Word of God, the first thing that God emphasizes when it comes to a relationship in society, He asks the children to obey their parents and honor them for a blessing and to live longer. Parents does not only mean your biological parents. Parents means everyone in a position to be your parent older than you. So you respect them, and how you regard them is a blessing itself. You cannot be a leader, or you cannot be put in position of authority if you cannot respect the authority above you before that. So it's very important to be respectful. Even when you have a different way of seeing things, your approach matters. Different ideologies does not mean enmity. When someone has a different ideology from what you have, it doesn't mean they are an enemy for you to abuse, kill them, fight them. No, that is wrong. It just simply means they have a different opinion from you, and we disagree to agree. You know, this world, if everybody was agreeing, would go nowhere. The disagreements make us better because we get to hear each person's submission, each person's idea, and we pick what works for us all. So these ideologies are not for us to separate. How you express yourself matters. And the other thing which is very important, believe in yourself no matter what. Even when things don't look encouraging for you, even when situations seem harder, God put in you that potential for you to still shine regardless of the obstacles before you. So still believe in yourself. Don't lose hope. Be frustrated and start drugs, or drop out of school, or lose hope, or try to contemplate suicide, or sell your body for sex just for little money. Believe in yourself and be hopeful and optimistic that the future is bright, because your future is bright.